everything in my experience is screaming for me to pay attention to it and appreciate it. And I have not been doing that at all. So I want to make this video to just appreciate everything that's been going on, to give credit where credit is due. I want to just generally let you know what's been going on lately. And side note, if you're making content or you want to make content, don't worry about how you look. It doesn't fucking matter. I just want to put that out there because I would like hearing that from somebody else. Fortunately, I know to remind myself of that truth, but I'm here to tell you, just make the content. Doesn't matter where you are, what you look like, anything. Make the content. Okay. Now that that's out of the way, I dedicate this video to appreciation, because appreciation is how you expand. If your life is stagnant, if your life is just the same, nothing changes, you have the same emotional responses over and over again, the same stories, the same bullshit, the same issues and shit, just like, it's just not expanding for you specifically. This doesn't mean that things aren't changing in your experience. This doesn't mean that things don't happen and you have different experiences and whatever. What I'm specifically referring to when I say expansion is you as the person that you think you are, as the being that you are, as the observer and creator of your experience. Your expansion is yours specifically. So this means shifting from being someone who may be, I really need like a holder. I'm just holding my phone and it's shaking. So expansion is shifting from being one way into being another way. It has nothing to do necessarily with what's happening in your life, from my perspective, because in my experience, things have been happening a lot. If you've been keeping up with me on social media, you may be aware that, Andre and I ended up renting this Airbnb for a month so that 2 of his mentees could come stay with us. One of his mentees has a baby, and it's like the 4, technically 5 of us in this house, just there. There's no reason for it other than I guess expanding, appreciating things, learning shit. Andre gets to teach. So that's been happening in my life. Things are happening, but I have stayed the same because I have not appreciated anything. So I want to give some credit to Andre for facilitating my phase 2 journey. I acknowledge and I'm aware that I created him, just like I created literally everything else in my experience, the same way you created literally everything in your experience. But he really has done so much for me. He is such a knowledgeable, wise, aware, such a great mentor and a great person to know. And and I really adore him. And what's really interesting lately is that our experience, or my experience, I can only talk about my experience. My experience is pushing me to focus on myself. So that was, my eyes are watering. So that was a conversation we had today. And we talked about negotiation. I'm just rambling. So if you're listening, I appreciate you, but I'm just fucking talking and you're going to have to listen or not. I don't care. This morning, Andre and I had a conversation about negotiation and how it applies to relationships. So negotiation in a business sense, there's different levels to it. People at the bottom, not literally at the bottom, but if you think of skill levels or a hierarchy of skill or expansion, whatever, this is how it goes. At the bottom, there are people who just they're the guppies. They're the people who just work for others and accept the bare minimum because that's what they think they deserve. That's all they see themselves as. And when they negotiate, they don't actually negotiate. They just accept terms. They accept whatever it is. So in terms of a relationship, they accept whatever their partner throws at them, which is still their creation. Hopefully you're following. Still their creation. It's just the way that they perceive themselves, the way that the level at which they appreciate themselves is reflected in their experience. So they're getting just what's given to them and they don't ask for more. They don't negotiate for more. The next level up from that is entrepreneur, or someone who makes their own money, doesn't necessarily do what other people want them to do, makes their own terms, but still tries to fit in with everyone around them. because that's who they think they serve. So an entrepreneur isn't necessarily expanding if they only take clients who are in their same boat or same, general life experience. As an entrepreneur, if you want to expand and you want to be more, you have to take clients who are where you want to be. You can't take clients who are perceivably below you or in the same level as you. So when an entrepreneur negotiates, what they end up doing is just running in circles. They, kind of neither party ends up particularly happy, or the entrepreneur is more likely to leave the negotiation unhappy, but at least they got someone, right? So if you look at this in terms of relationships, an entrepreneur level person just, takes what they get and tries to sell themselves to the other. So there's a lot of like settling. There's a lot of bullshit being passed around in a relationship between an entrepreneur or someone else, probably two entrepreneurs, whatever. The entrepreneur is at a disadvantage. Whatever. Anyway, I'm just rambling through this explanation. It's fine. The next level up from that is the influencer. And, before I go on, I just want to say this applies. You are one of these people. You may be listening to me talk and thinking, oh, that's interesting, but you're one of these people. You are one of them. Which one are you? You know which one you are, and you have to be honest with yourself about which one it is. So with that said, the next level up from entrepreneur is influencer, someone who has some power over other people in terms of their decision making. This person in a relationship, in a negotiation, even financially, has a level of pull, influence, decision-making ability. So in a negotiation, they're going to get what they want, but there's still this level of like, I need you to do this. I need you for this. I am not who I am without you. There's still that connection there, that codependency that needs to be broken in order for you to get to the next level, which is the whale or the FU money type person. These people, and the interesting thing about this, the FU money type person at the top of the hierarchy, it's not about how much money you have. It's about how you carry yourself. So an FU money type person, it's not about how much money you have. It's about how you carry yourself, because if you carry yourself this way, the money has to match. It has to. It can't not. It's just that nobody thinks that they can be an FU money type person without having the money first. So what does this look like in terms of relationships and negotiations, financially, whatever? This is what Andre and I talked about this morning. He was like, if I was an FU money type person, I would simply have my own experience, let Andre have his, and we would come together and have our own experiences together also. So there's like three elements. There's my experience, his experience, and our shared experiences. And with this type of dynamic, both parties can end up happy 100% of the time. In a negotiation where there's two people who are like FU money type people, everyone ends up happy. Money is never a problem. There are no issues. It's just like, your life is yours, my life is mine, and we get to share that with each other at the end of the day or whenever it happens. So that puts so much into perspective for me, because I had been operating from the like the entrepreneur level, and sometimes even the guppy level. The level of appreciation, which was non-existent, that I had was very guppy. I was being a guppy for sure, not appreciating shit. But I also felt like I had to sell myself to Andre and convince him like, oh, this is why you should pay the most attention to me. This is why, like, oh, I've been doing this. Like, you don't have to teach me, whatever, something on my face. You don't have to teach me the same things you have to teach everyone else, And it was just so like, it was so painful for me, and it was painful for Andre too, because he just wanted us to both be happy. He wanted us both to be in the FU money, the whale space level, where I get to expand. I get to do whatever I feel like I want to do without worrying about anyone else. Doesn't mean I don't include people, but I'm focusing on me. I'm giving attention to me, and he gets to do what he wants to do. And at the end of the day, we come together. So I just wanted to deeply appreciate him for his wisdom and knowledge and guidance, because this shit is, it's a trip. Like, sometimes it feels difficult. Sometimes it is difficult, but it's never more than you can handle. what makes it difficult or what makes it feel so awful and so resistant is the bullshit that you tell yourself and the lack of appreciation. Honestly, everything that's unfolding for me in my life is just, now that I see it through the lens of appreciation and after having that conversation from the whale perspective, it couldn't be more fucking perfect. Like, I get friends, I get people who get the lifestyle that I live. I don't have to like try to have friends who, I have to teach stuff to and don't understand why I don't work and how I just have money, like, et cetera, et cetera. That's established. Andre gets to have the experience of like playing with babies because he loves babies, and I don't have to have the baby, right? I don't have to give up my experience for him to do that. He gets to play with the baby that's here, and he loves that. It's great. But for a long time, I was like, why do you spend so much time with the baby? Well, that's his experience. And I get to have mine, he gets to have his, and we just share it at the end of the day. But now that I've gotten my head out of my ass, mostly, now that I've gotten my head out of my ass, I really appreciate the way things are happening. And I won't project into the future as much as I want to, as much as I want to be like, oh, this is happening, so that means X or Y or whatever. It's always bullshit. I don't know what's going to happen. And why would I worry about it when I could just enjoy the experience I have right now? The more you enjoy the experience you have now, like, how could it not work out perfectly? It's already working out perfectly. So just let it work out perfectly. I was not doing that. I was very much looking for problems and finding problems everywhere. And it just sucked. It was so shitty. Like, I was miserable. You probably know this because a lot of my content lately on Instagram has been very, like, just harsh. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I felt like expressing myself in that way, and so I did. That doesn't make me any type of way. You could judge me if you want to. I don't give a fuck. But that was just my experience. And now I'm kind of shifting out of that, appreciating myself for what I've done, appreciating Andre, appreciating Megan and Mandy and the baby and Andrew, who's here right now, and my whole community and you for watching this. And just, life is so fun. Life is so crazy when you get out of your own way. Like, it can just work out in ways that you can't even fathom. Just can't even fathom. You have no idea what amazing things could happen for you that are just perfect for your expansion, for the unfolding of this life that you couldn't write. You can't imagine or figure out what you want. It just happens. So anyway, I don't even know if I'm going to edit this. Do I feel like editing this video? Just fucking post it. She's like, just post it. All right. That's me. We are starting a phase 2 household vlog channel, essentially, where we're going to just, document the things that happen at the house, which is going to be super funny. I have no idea how it's going to work out. I was kind of inspired by The Office. So keep an eye out for some information about that, and go follow me on Instagram if you're not already, and join our community, our phase 2 mentorship community, if you'd like to learn more about this. It's linked in my bio. I'll put the link somewhere at some point. Okay, bye.